Hi, I'm Alex, and this is Benji, Jack, and Izzy, and we're talking today about Diamond Foods. Diamond Foods is a culinary nut and snack company that is based in San Francisco. It was founded as a co-op of Californian walnut growers in 1912, and they traded under the name of Diamond of California. Michael Mendez was appointed CEO in 1997, which was a successful move for the company at the time. In 2005, Diamond Foods became a publicly traded company. I'll now pass you on to Izzy.
So traditionally, Diamond Foods produced walnuts as commodity goods. The target market of the nuts were older women who used the products in baking goods, and they also went directly to food manufacturers and were used in culinary production. The lack of product differentiation limited the target market and left them in a stagnant position, resulting in them having to restructure the organisation.
Diamond now has entered into the highly competitive snack food industry. They also are involved in raw material procurement from all over the world, and they've hugely expanded their consumer goods range of culinary, in-shell, and also snack nuts. They've continued to further expand in the snack industry with acquisitions into things like crisps and popcorn. Diamond now has a strong emphasis on the relationships throughout their supply chain, using outsourcing to increase the organisation's agility and speed to market with their differentiated products that follow the rapidly evolving consumer trends. As a cooperative, why couldn't Diamond achieve the results it has achieved as a public company? I think one of the main reasons is their lack of access to capital that they initially had as a co-op. This was because all their funds would come from their growers, which were walnut growers, and this meant that Diamond couldn't get money fast when they needed to make the most of opportunities. They fixed this by becoming a public company, and when they needed money fast, they could simply sell more shares, which allowed them to be far more agile within the industry. This can be seen in the New Zealand example with Fonterra, who's currently having the same difficulties as a cooperative. And also growers not benefiting from the increased value of Diamond. This has come right now with growers being issued shares once the company became private, and they now get the benefits through dividends and an increased value of their stock price. Another problem was growers having a short-term focus. This came from them being more concentrated on lowering all the costs and getting more money for their produce. This mentality reciprocated throughout the whole Diamond Corporation, I think, whereas now, becoming a public company, the management at Diamond are able to offer long-term contracts, 3, 5 and even 10 years to their initial farmers. This gives everyone a long-term view of their business, which is very beneficial. Also, there was a lot of uncertainty around the time Diamond was changing from a co-op to being private, which Diamond met with education and information to the growers, which I believe helped bring them closer as a supply chain, and now has really fostered a good relationship within the supply chain and allows a good culture of information sharing to happen, and sourcing has now become one of their core competencies.
So how have the business model, leadership and culture at Diamond contributed to the success of the company? So their ability to change in response to the external environment has led to their success. When Diamond Foods first began as a grower-owned cooperative, their focus was on the short-term strategy, such as how to reduce costs. This left them reluctant to invest in facilities and management, and left employees focusing on avoiding failure rather than risk-taking. When Michael Mendez took over the company in 1997, he has worked to restructure the organisation ever since. Instead of focusing on the short term, Mendez had a long-term vision and believed by focusing on collaboration, entrepreneurship and aggressive information sharing, the company would be able to move forward. This worked very well for the company, as innovative products were being created at fast speed, and Diamond Foods began to shift from commodity nut products to differentiated value-added goods. A prime example of successful innovation was the development of a distinctive plastic canister, as you can see here, that could fit in a person's hand and be carried around in a backpack. So traditionally they had these bulk packs here which were used in the kitchen primarily, but now with this canister it could be multi-purpose and carried around at different locations. This capital-intensive development not only provided a barrier to entry for small competitors, it also resulted in a distinct brand identity. Diamond Foods had a very small target market of older women who used nuts in their baking and other larger manufacturing companies. Mendes strived to change this with effective adverts and humorous campaigns, often featured at events such as the American Super Bowl. They were able to reposition their products in the snack category and access a younger and wider target market. In 2005, the decision to move from a private to a public company was very beneficial, as the capital injection allowed the company to further invest in future growth. Senior management and encouragement to take risks meant decisions were made more effectively. This elimination of the fear of failure meant Diamond Foods could quickly respond to new opportunities and threats, and ultimately get new products into the market much earlier than their competitors. Diamond's products were often higher in quality, as their lean cost structure allowed them to invest in higher quality ingredients and invest more in product development and marketing strategies, which meant they had more reach to consumers, better products and more variety. Ultimately, their success regarding their business model, leadership and culture all boiled down to their flexible, fast-paced and entrepreneurial structure, setting them apart from competitors. The decision to move offices to a central location was appealing to employees and allowed management to be more selective of who they hired. Ensuring employees had a can-do attitude was imperative to their highly collaborative, team-based culture, and was a huge contributor to their ability to make effective and rapid decision-making. I will now pass it on to Alex.
Diamond Foods has been a successful business due to their can-do attitude towards being able to have the ability to move rapidly and efficiently through the innovation process. And if they fail, they would recognise it and embrace it and fix it. As he has stated how and why they have been successful, which leads to my question: what Diamond should do to grow its business? There are a few things I think Diamond Foods can do to grow their business in a positive way. Firstly, they should keep their entrepreneurial and performance-driven culture, this meaning that they can make decisions in a manner that recognises the value of time, and they infuse a healthy dose of flexibility, which reinforces their passion for quality and reliability of their products. By maintaining this culture, it will allow Diamond Foods to identify opportunities faster and more efficient, that enables the company to get products out at a quicker pace than other competitors, which is also giving them a very strong competitive advantage. For a company to grow, you need to have the right people working within your company, so employing employees is crucial. Diamond Foods already has a big focus on hiring the right people that are going to emphasise their culture and demonstrate it appropriately whilst being an employee at Diamond Foods. They use a cross-functional team-based process when interviewing new employees, so I suggest to keep using this way of employing staff. As to grow the business, you need the right people to assist you and help you to get where you want to be, as there is no point in hiring someone that isn't going to emphasise and demonstrate your business culture. In today's day and age, majority of our population around the world are demanding products that have health benefits and attributes. I think there is a big space for Diamond Foods to grow in this area, which can help towards growing their business. To do this, they would need to continue to invest in researching health attributes and products, as that is what the consumers are demanding in today's day. Finally, another big trend in the world today is sustainability and how we can be more sustainable. This is also a way that Diamond Foods can grow their business, due to the fact that it is a global trend, and I guess you could say an environmental concern. They can develop sustainable packaging for their products, so the use of sustainable packaging, which results in improved sustainability and will also help attract customers, as many people are all for sustainability and saving the planet. An example of some products would be their pasta packaging, as seen on the slide above, into maybe biodegradable boxes instead of plastic packaging. Also changing all of their snack product packaging so it is all more sustainable. I'll now pass you on to Benji.
Hi, I'm Benji. My question is, how large should Diamond expect to become? I think that's a pretty big question to ask, and it's kind of hard to estimate on how big they will become. I want to look into their nut production and why I think that's going to be the leader for success in their company. In 2009, their estimated sales were $1.8 billion, and within 5 years it was expected to increase by $200 million to the $2 billion mark. I believe that's going to continue to increase, and in 2018 now, I'm sure that's well above the $2 billion mark. So the first consumer trend that I think is going to help Diamond Foods is the fact that consumers are getting more busy. Consumers have increasingly busier lives, they're doing more things, and they're always on the road. So as they're always on the road, they need to have food that is always on the go as well. And Diamond do that with their packaging and the way that they can, and the way that consumers can easily access their foods. Consumers are going away from the easy cooked meals at home. Sorry, not easy, but like the time-consuming meals at home. They're more going to the foods that it'll take sort of a trip to the supermarket just to get, and it's ready to eat then. So I think Diamond Foods really is in a good business space there, and how they can reach consumers in that trend. My second example is the consumer trend of consumers being more health conscious. So, as you know, as you probably know, there is a obesity epidemic around the world, and consumers are sort of realizing that's a bad thing, and they want to have more healthy alternatives. And I think nuts is a great healthy alternative. They have many different nuts, provide many different minerals and vitamins that are essential. As you can see, they also help prevent cancer and diseases. So there's a lot of good to nuts, and Diamond needs to portray this to their consumers so they also realize that as well. So they will be more inclined to purchase their products because they know it's a healthier alternative. And to the likes of chips or crackers, which are high in sugar, sodium, and everything that is sort of making consumers become more obese. The third trend that I'm going to look at is the rise of veganism around the world. Just in America, there's been a 300% increase in the last 3 years in the amount of vegans. More consumers in the first world are wanting to live a more healthier life, and they believe that veganism is a healthy alternative, not eating meat or dairy products. And lucky for Diamonds, they're in the nut business, which doesn't involve any dairy or animals products. So they're really in that market space where they can capitalize on the amount of increasing vegan and vegan consumers. And also with the likes of vegans, they're going to pay that extra dollar to stay vegan. So it means that Diamond don't have to be scared to increase their price because vegans will be willing to pay that extra dollar. So I think just these three consumer trends, they're not going to die out anytime soon. So I think Diamond's really nailing it on the head there. So just to reiterate, the three biggest trends I think that Diamond are going to exploit are the healthy alternatives, the vegan trend, and also eating on the go. And I think that's going to ultimately lead to the success of the company in the future, and it's going to result